Hello and welcome to another Procreate tutorial. Well, not exactly a Procreate tutorial. It's basically me drawing Spider-Man. I recently saw Homecoming the other day and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So what I'm going to do is, do exactly that. Draw Spider-Man or Spider-Man, or Spider-Man, as my son used to call him back in the day. Okay, so the first thing you need to do if you're going to draw Spider-Man from Homecoming is you need to bring yourself some reference up. Now, what I like to do is I like to go on Google and type turnaround. Now, if you don't know what turnaround is, basically what it is, it's like when you have a cartoon show and you've got a character, they always do turnarounds and they look something like this. So you get like a front view of Spider-Man, a side view and a back view. So you basically know how the character works. These are used by animators in cartoon shows. So I've just got that as reference for me when I'm drawing this Spider-Man. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a layer. And I've already created one there. And we've called it pencils. Don't forget, I always say, always rename your layers because that just keeps you in check. Now what we're going to do, we're going to get some pencil here. Excuse my sniffing. We're going to get a pencil and we're going to go with the blue. I like using blue pencil because it looks pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to work out the basic pose of Spider-Man. So if you just bear with me, I will work that out. And I'm going to do that in a sort of like a matchstick form. So I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to have him posing. Do I want him like crawling down the wall? Do I want him spinning a web? Just shrink him down a tad there. I want to get him sort of like very distorted. That's the great thing about Spider-Man, you can just do him in all manner of crazy positions. I don't know if this works, but let's give it a go. I think this might work. Let's bring this arm over here. And I might have to stretch him a little bit. So if I stretch him like that, that's better. Like that. His arms coming out there. Let's bring his fist over here, hanging on to some webbing. Now we'll do his hand over here, doing the old spider pose. So he's shooting webbing there, which I saw in an interview, and Tom Holland can't actually do that, so that's quite bizarre. And yeah, the film was absolutely brilliant. Went to see it with my son. But I am absolutely gutted because I did the dad thing of falling asleep for 10 minutes during the film. I am such a dad. That was quite gutting, and I missed some really good scenes, which I'm not very happy about. But there you go. So just getting that pose right to his crotch there, and I'm quite pleased with that foot. So as I'm showing you this, it's like we're just going through the techniques that we've gone through in the last couple of days. As I say, doing a layer with pencils. And then we're going to go over it with some inks. Okay, so let's have a look at the how Spider-Man's boots go. So like that, and I'm looking at the reference here. Got some black lines there. And what I love about the new costume as well, right, is stuff makes sense. Now, I like this part here. See this part here? There you go, I'm drawing a circle around it. Because it basically makes sense. Because if they were just on his wrist, right, if they were just on his wrist, they'd sort of like, they have the ability to fall off. But because he's got this extra bit of banding around there, it makes sense. It makes sense that it'll, you know, keep him held onto the webbing. So, yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. That makes a lot of sense. And I do like all these lines on the blue bits as well. It's cool. So then we've got some black banding coming down here. And I like this black banding. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, I don't know about that. But then I looked into it and I realised that what they're doing is, it just, the stuff that they've put on the suit makes sense. As I just said. Yeah, you just said that, Okse. Makes a lot of sense. I didn't like the Amazing Spider-Man costume. That I didn't like that at all. There's something about it I just don't like. And I like the eyes on this. I like the eye. The eyes are absolutely superb because they're very dicto, aren't they? I just think they're awesome. I love the way they can express themselves. Absolutely brilliant. I think there's a guy on Instagram called Robot Spider-Man who's actually made some lenses. Some lenses, they're pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Let's work on his fist over here. I might get this and Jim Lee said that when you're drawing action, it's always best to get the shoulders away from the hips to get a nice line of action. So I'm going to do that. That's pretty cool. Foot. There we go. Pretty pleased with how this is turning out. Tom Holland, son of Dominic Holland, the comedian. Who's that? Oh, he's really good. Very funny chap. So just get rid of these areas here. get mark out all his patterns. And yeah, as I say, Tom Holland's really good in it. Michael Keaton was fabulous as the Vulture. Very scary, very intimidating. Which, when you see the Vulture, I don't think he's that scary, to be honest. And as I say, I'm looking at my reference here. Reference, and as I say, he's got these bands down here which are pretty cool that help him swing, bada bada swing. Is that right? Is that right? I think that's right. It's just because of all these new black lines and stuff, it's really hard to get your head round. But we're getting there, we're getting there. And then his web shooters. So like come on his wrist like that. And as I say, I watched an interview and it was Tom Holland, and he was saying that he can't actually put his 2 middle fingers in the middle of his palm, which is bizarre, man. It's crazy. He's Spider-Man. Spider-Man. So let's just colour this in. Pencils. As I say, if you make a mistake, tap tap, double tap, 2 fingers on the old screen. Oh, let's look at. I'm quite pleased with how this has turned out. It looks all right. And don't forget there are some lines on his legs. They're quite complex. But I'm going to do these quite faint. So knee go, this is knee there. Let's erase some of this away. Spider-Man. And what I'm going to do is let's get his spider emblem on there. If you've not seen Homecoming yet, I suggest you go see it because it's bloody good. It's very good. So spider there. And let's have a look at the. And it's 2 here. Some here as well. Okay. Excellent. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go red, right? I'm going to do another layer, right? And I'm just going to do the lines of Spider-Man. Let's have a look at his mask. So we have a line down the centre here, and it comes around here, and then we have one that comes around here. so. Just around like there. And here. I remember in the old Spider-Man cartoon many moons ago, they just used to have him as red and blue, and they never used to do the lines. But looking back, it's probably very complicated, isn't it? Let's do the lines here. And here. There. Like so. So you have that's your basic structure of the lines for Spider-Man, and then you just do these sort of what would you call them? Web bridges. Let's call them web bridges. That sounds good, doesn't it? A web bridge. Yeah, let's call it a web bridge. I like that. And as these go down, like that, like so. The web bridges, that's what they are. And if they're not, that's what they're called now. And you like that. And then we bring this line here. And here, and it sort of like follows down the glove. Is good. I'm enjoying doing this. I like doing enjoying superheroes. It's good, man. It's good fun. And that's a good thing about having reference. You can just look at your reference and you can go, well, it comes down here and it goes down here. It spreads out here. And then just do lines like so. And then look, we can look at the hands. Yeah, the hands of, yep, that's it. Let's do the hands here. They've got sort of like the same sort of webbing, and then you have like these circles around the hand, the fingers. So we go, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Okay, so there's your basic Spider-Man doing the swinging ting. And let's get inking. Let's get inking. We're going to use the same technique as we do before. We're just going to create another layer. And we're going to rename these inks. And as I say, I use the default studio pen before, but today I'm going to use my comic book brushes. This one's called Drucker, named after the artist Mort Drucker. I'm going to be honest, I can't remember where I bought these brushes from, but they are really good. So I really like using these. So if you just bear with me. So I've got my Drucker brush. It's really cool. And then I'm going to create another layer called inks, as I've done. I'm going to knock the Spider-Man layer down like so. And then we're going to work over the top. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to speed this up actually. So there you go, there's Spider-Man all inked up and ready to go. We'll be adding some colour and a bit of shading tomorrow. Don't forget, if you like what I do, please hit a like on it. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell in the corner and that'll tell you when new videos are out and about. So thank you very much for watching and see you tomorrow. Bye.